Okay. Any plans for the next video? Ooh! How about a video showing how to eat Tide Pods without dying? I know that trend died, but we could retrend it in a way where no one will die. I'll think about it.
Eating meat, because the cost of living right now is a problem. So I think we should consider eating and really save for the meat before it's unaffordable.
Jessica, you're vegetarian.
I know, I'm just saying.
I thought you want us to be vegetarians. How about a video about Steven Universe? That thing was years ago! No one would watch it! It's expired! I know that show was overhated because of that video, but everyone forgot about Steven Universe is still relevant after these years? Well, I can't blame them. That show was incredible, that show is great, and has continued to stay relevant till this time. Go for it! One of the Steven Universe critiques I found hardest to accept is when people are like, "Oh, Steven Universe has too much filler episodes. It's the worst show ever." Yeah, like every other show has it. But what did you say about them? Filler is a very subjective word. Some may call an episode filler, some may not, and this video has a great point of how filler should be defined. But for us to be objective on this video, I'll define what a filler is that I think everyone would agree on. Filler essentially means it consists of self-contained stories where nothing important is happening in that episode, or it doesn't have a lasting impact/effect on the overarching plot, character development, or the world building. And that is simply not the case with Steven Universe. Most of the episodes of Steven Universe contains at least a small bit of world building or individual's character development. One example of this is the episode Frybo. Frybo was the episode where Pearl lost some of her magical gem shards. Steven found these gem shards, and so to help his friend who hates being a mascot, he used the shards to make the Frybo mascot move on its own. It didn't really work well, but they resolved it in the end. So why is this episode not a filler? This episode delves into Steven's character by highlighting his genuine desire to help others. His attempt to bring Frybo to life stems from a well-intentioned desire to help his friend, which will become his main problem in the future. This showcases his kind-hearted nature and willingness to take initiative. It also grants us a glimpse into the everyday lives of the Beach City residents, offering a more holistic perspective of the show's world beyond the Crystal Gems adventures. Granted, this was one of the first episodes of the show, so we really need to know more about the characters and its world. It's absurd to say that every episode is plot relevant, but just because something isn't plot relevant doesn't make it a filler. Townie episodes are not only generally good episodes worth watching in their own right, but they also show important parts of Steven's character development. The episodes people call filler, like the Townie episodes, are actually the episodes that made me care more about the side characters. Like, if it weren't for the Townie episodes, I wouldn't have the same reaction to Lars's death or Sadie having a new relationship. That's why we need a time to watch through these, cause if not, the conclusion of a character will not seem as effective as it is. These episodes may create a new path on the show that delves into the depths of their own character, but there are still bits of sense to them that affects these three. The combination of the Townie and Gem episode provides a holistic view of Steven's identity. As a half-human, half-gem, he is a bridge between the two worlds. Like an avatar. And these episodes highlight the complexity of his existence. While the Gem episodes shows his gem side, which showcases his potential and his responsibilities as a crystal gem, the Townie episodes show his human side, which represents more on his relatability and emotions. Another point of why I wouldn't call most of these episodes filler is because unless you start watching with the expectation that they won't be important, there's always the potential for them to evolve into something intriguing, and this totally goes with how the show loves to keep us guessing. Every time something unexpected happens or we found out something new, it's like another piece of the big story puzzle. Take Season 1 Episode 31 for example. If I watch the show for the first time, I would say this episode doesn't contribute to the plot at all. And Ronaldo needs to be slapped to consciousness. But if you rewatch the episode after finishing the show, one of Ronaldo's conspiracy theory was actually referring to the Diamond Authority.
It's part of the Great Diamond Authority! They'll take on any form!
Another example, back to the Frybo scene, looking at how the Frybo mascot acts and moves, The episode subtly foreshadows the theme of corrupted gems, which ends up being a major focus in later seasons. You need to sit through these episodes because it serves a purpose and is worth getting to for the future seasons. That's why instead of filler, it's better to refer to them as optional episodes. Because when you say filler, it often carries a negative connotation, implying that these episodes are a waste of time or do not contribute to the main storyline. But when you say optional, it underscores that the viewers have a choice in whether or not to watch these particular episodes. It acknowledges that some viewers may enjoy the additional content, character development, or world building even if it doesn't directly advance the main plot. And I would get out of my way to explain these episodes to justify that these fillers are actually optional. I could make a series on that if you want, but I digress. I admit that Steven Universe has a lot of optional episodes, and back in the day when Steven Universe was just coming out, I kinda understand the frustration because Steven bombs, hiatuses and stuff. But as I rewatch the show, I would say pacing doesn't affect the quality of the show. It only affects the overall viewing experience, especially when it comes to waiting for the new episodes. So yeah, back to the filler. If an episode is just there to make the show longer, with no real character growth, no juicy hints that'll pay off later, no jaw-dropping reveals, no tantalizing foreshadowing, no significant contributions to the story, I would call it a filler. An example I could use for this is Adventure Time's Glitch is a Glitch. In this episode, Finn and Jake's personalities and relationships revert to a more basic state, doesn't offer significant character growth or exploration. The characters essentially return to their usual selves by the end of the episode, without any notable changes. And it doesn't introduce new lore or provide hints about future developments in the series, so it's a self-contained story that doesn't have lasting consequences for the show's world or characters, like what a filler essentially is. But I guess this episode is targeted more on people who's interested in animation as an art form. This episode is, I guess, an artistic experiment. It showcases a unique animation style and explores the potential for abstract and surreal storytelling within the Adventure Time universe. So my point still stands. Now, I'm not saying Steven Universe has no filler episodes, cause no one's defending Ronaldo. What I'm saying is that most of the episodes people called filler are actually just optional episodes. And while Steven Universe does have many optional episodes that could be skipped without affecting the main plot, it's essential to recognize that these episodes, even if they don't directly advance the central narrative, provides valuable opportunities for character development and world building. But what do you guys think? Do I have a point? Am I just wasting my precious time talking about something I know nothing about? Am I wrong? Am I drinking the right water? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and if you have time, consider subscribing. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!